Gold's rally seems to be cooling down, so is it time for investors to look elsewhere? And could lithium be the answer? Joining us today in studio is the CEO of Lithium X, Brian Paes-Braga. Thanks so much for being with us in studio.
Thank you for having me.
So we're talking lithium today. It's fun to kind of get out of the gold space here. And it's an interesting space because I think a lot of investors, are fascinated by it, but they don't know how to get in it. So how do you invest in lithium?
Yeah, it's a good question because it's a question I asked myself before founding this company. And as you know, in the gold space or other metals, there's many different options for investors. They can buy ETFs, they can buy futures contracts, they can buy independent producers or explorers or large cap producers. And in the lithium space, there wasn't that type of opportunity for the investor. There's no LME trading on it. They're all contract by contract. The big names in the space are not pure play lithium names. They're actually multiple chemical businesses. So for an investor to get exposure to the space, they really have to come downstream and take a look at the smaller cap companies to get proper exposure to it.
Right, and there are so many startups. So how do you differentiate yourself? What should investors be looking at when they're picking a stock here?
I think it starts with team, and our team really has a background of enormous success in the small cap space and building small cap companies to large cap and big exits. So Frank Giustra is a large backer of the company. He's the founder of Lionsgate Films, right, of what became Gold Corp with Wheaton River, Eurasia, which was a $3.1 billion takeout, and our other partner, Paul Matizik, who's very well known in the uranium space, in the potash space, and the lithium space. His last three companies sold for just under $2.5 billion. And then it comes down to assets, and we've been able to quickly grow, capitalize our company, and get two fantastic assets, both in Argentina, where 42% of the world's lithium comes from, and Nevada, next to the only producing lithium mine in North America.
Well, let's talk about your background because I find this really interesting. You're obviously a very young CEO. You started the company at 27. You mentioned Frank Giustra. He's a magnate in the mining field. You got his attention, got him involved. How did you do it? In a nutshell.
Sure. I think for people that know Frank, he's really driven by passion, and I was very passionate about this space. Last summer when I came up with this idea, I showed enough facts and enough passion behind the lithium space, and really for a millennial executive like I've been called, I think it's important for our generation to help wean ourselves off fossil fuels, do new things, and I looked at lithium as kind of the underlying metal to help with the shift from fossil fuel dependence to clean energy and electric vehicles.
Right, so I was going to ask you, what are the fundamentals driving lithium right now? It's had a good run up, including your stocks doing well. What's fueling it here?
Yeah, so the history of lithium, as we were talking about, was really the pharmaceutical and glass and ceramic business. And in early 2000s, the consumer electronic business really took off. And over the last 15 years, the 10 to 15% CAGR growth we've seen in the space has been driven by that. A couple months ago, I think the real monumental shift happened in the lithium space, which was just been waiting to happen. And Mr. Elon Musk at Tesla got 400,000 orders, pre-orders for his Model 3. And he went and told the world that he's going to need all the lithium ion production in the next 2 years. So electric vehicles is really the big driver that we're looking at, that a lot of the analysts are saying are going to be the big driver for demand over the next 7 to 10 years. How big is that demand push? It's really increasing from 160,000 tons a year of lithium carbonate to almost 500,000 tons is kind of the consensus. So you're looking at an industry that's growing 5 or 6 times in a very short period of time. You've also got energy storage that's a big driver. And if windmills and solar panels, if you're a believer in those, and you're a residential owner, and at a peak time you haven't stored your energy, the facility to store it is a lithium ion battery facility in your house that you can actually use the generation from the heat or the sun throughout the day, or the wind, and be able to use it at night.
So, we looked at the lithium chart. It's had a good run here this year, your stock as well. But is it too late for investors to get in now? Have they missed the boat?
No, I don't think so. I think investors need to be careful. There's a lot of startups, as you say, that are going out there and reflecting very early stage results. I'd look at team and advanced assets that are actually going to be able to come online and produce in the near term.
All right, so what's next for you? What are you eyeing right now?
we want to build a billion-dollar company. So we think we'll grow through M&A. Our backers are very, very experienced in the M&A strategy, and we're very aggressive on becoming that go-to name in the lithium space.
All right, well, my final question for you is lithium the new gold? I know you have your personal bias here, but could it be the new darling here?
I think it could be the new darling. I'm also a gold bug. I've got a lot of history on monetary history and monetary policy. I think gold's going to be very good. Goldman Sachs called lithium the new gasoline. I think comparing those markets, which are much bigger than lithium, is wrong. But I do think that lithium is a great place to be over the next 5 to 10 years for investors.
All right, so bullish gold, right, Ryan?
I am bullish gold.
Thanks so much for stopping by the studio and continued success.
Thank you for having me.
And thanks for watching this edition of Kitco News. We have Keith Fitzgerald of Money Morning up next.